Okay, here I have my bowl, an egg, and some oats. No complications here, right? Very simple. The problem comes when in the mixing of the oats and the egg. Now that right there may well be too much. We're going to see. The key here is not the quantity of the oats, because no two eggs are the same size. The key here is how much free egg is left in the mix. That's the key. Alright, it looks like we're going to have just about the right amount of oats and egg. Nope, might just have a little extra egg. Alright, well then we'll add a little bit more oats. Mix it in real good. Add a little bit more oats. Just a little bit. Now, you don't want to go too far. The key is not too much oats and not too much egg. If you have too many oats, you wind up with a cardboard oatmeal pancake. Nobody likes cardboard, including me. I'm not saying this is a recipe fit for a restaurant or anybody fancy. What I am saying is, when it comes to good food, solid food, adventuring food, all of those fancy adventure bars, mountain bars, etc., they just need to stay home. They really do. There's a whole lot of preservatives in them. There's a lot of junk in them that we just don't need to eat, including sugar, high fructose corn syrup, etc. What have you got in here? That's still a little too much free egg for me. Okay, so we're going to add just a little bit more for oats, just a little, not too much. All we're trying to do is get a nice mixture of egg and yolks. Not yotes, oats. Anyway. Okay, I'm liking that pretty good. Now, all you got to do is add your favorite something. Right now, I'm going to do my wife's favorite, and that's apple. Okay, I have preheated my cast iron skillet, and yes, I am a fan of cast iron. I always use olive oil. You know, Kirkland, whoever. We do like the organic, but, you know, whatever. Olive oil. But I have also used regular vegetable oil, and I've used butter. It's up to you. The butter ones taste a little bit richer, but the olive oil, I like the flavor, and I think it's a better food. But anyway, take your mixture, add it to your warm oil. Now, you know something about olive oil. Do not heat your olive oil up until it's smoking. Olive oil becomes a carcinogenic when it gets too hot. So we like to cook with olive oil that is warm and that will actually cook the food. Okay, lay it out flat like so, smash it down, ready to start cooking. Okay, you'll notice that we're bubbling a little bit on the sides. That means that it's looking pretty good. You notice that there's no real smoke coming up. There's a little steam coming from the egg and whatnot, but there's no smoke coming up off of the olive oil. What I'll try with my spatula there is just slip it under and make sure that it's running free in the olive oil. Keep on it going for another minute or two. It usually takes about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5, for the pancake to get done enough on the downside so that I'm ready to flip it and it doesn't just come apart in pieces. So we'll just... Okay, here's a couple of other items that I sometimes add. It doesn't matter to me what kind of mustard you use, but just a little bit of mustard added in there really gives a little bit of a flavor. Sometimes you get the more vinegary kind of flavor. Sometimes you get the more, I don't know, broad spectrum, but you know, better flavors in my mind is the Dijon mustard. But anyway, also one of my favorites for just about everything, Tony Chacher's Creole seasoning. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it doesn't matter to me. Anyway, I don't tend to put this on my oatmeal pancakes when I have apple in there, but always I use it when I have jalapenos and mustard and the other meats. I do like to put ham in there, or sometimes some chopped chicken or something like that. Okay, here we go. We're going to give it a flip. Okay, no great big finale there. Notice that there's just a little bit of gold in there. We do not want these to be dark golden or browned. We just want them to be light colored. We don't want them white where the egg is barely cooked or not cooked at all, but we do want them barely golden brown. And we'll give it another minute and a half or so, and we'll be ready for... Okay, here we go. There we go, very light golden brown. Looks delicious. I did leave out one other thing. If you're going to use jalapenos, you're going to use meat products or whatever, when you cook the first side and you flip it over, if you add in a little bit of Parmesan cheese maybe, or some pepper jack cheese or something like that, and cook it just until the cheese melts nicely, and then add a little bit of Tony Chechers on top of that, yummy. Alright, really good. Okay, notice that I have here my Ziploc baggie. Move this out of the way, move this over, and just slide that sucker in there. See now how I make my size fit perfectly for my Ziploc baggies, okay? And it's in there nice and hot. Zip that bad boy up, throw it in the freezer, ready to go, okay? You can put them in pairs also. They don't freeze up on each other very much. There's not a lot of water in them. And with the olive oil, that tends to prevent them from sticking also. So you can do them in pairs. For me, this is a good heavy snack or a small meal. But definitely 2 of these is a full meal for me. Some of the ladies, my wife, you know, she's in her 60s now, so she doesn't eat as much as she used to. So this is a full meal for my wife. And when she's out backpacking, she'll eat one of these every few hours. I mean, we're trudging through snow, which is burning a lot of calories, plus the cold weather, and she's eating one of these every 2 or 3 hours. It's an excellent food source. Give it a try. If you don't like it, maybe you're doing something wrong. If you don't like it because you don't like it, well, you know, this is just a good idea for you. If not, if you do like it, hey, pass this on to other people. I've added... the list of people who actually are cooking this are living in North Carolina, Oregon, California, Alaska, Virginia, New Mexico, Arizona, now Washington, Idaho, and Montana. So I'm spreading the word. You help spread the word too. A great food. Thanks, Glenn Woodfin. Hey guys, I was going to leave it at that regarding our venerable oatmeal pancakes, but it occurs to me that some of you, like me, might want to do this at a bigger scale. I truly do fill this bowl. What I do is I put in 18 eggs, and then I showed you what my general consistency is of egg white ratio to oats, and I get this mixed up. I do tend to use this particular utensil instead of this one because this one's hard to clean, and I think this one does a great job of mixing. Anyway, use it on a low setting, 2 or 3, and then just keep on it going until you get the consistency that you want. Like I said, 18 eggs, and I'd probably go through, I do not know how many cups of oats. It seems like a lot. And then of course what I'll do is I've got enough then in my mixture, I separate it out into bowls, and I add jalapenos to one bowl, I'll add apples to another bowl, you know, I might split some out and do a different flavor, and that gives you a little bit of variety for what you're doing. Anyway, I like the KitchenAid, it's a great tool, it's easy to get in and out of, sure, any mixer will do, just be sure you get your egg white ratio. Oh, I wanted to tell you one more thing. Don't let this sit overnight. You might be tempted to say, well, this is more than I want to cook in a day. Okay, get 2 or 3 burners going at one time, and keep them going, but do not let this sit, because what will happen is the oats will soak up the egg, and then the next morning you'll come in and you'll have a dry, hard mash sitting here, and it won't make a good oatmeal pancake. Remember, you want to have some free egg, because that's part of the texture and the flavor of the oatmeal pancake. If you do want a dry, hard cardboard mash, something that is kind of like hardtack in an oatmeal pancake, go ahead. Let it sit out overnight. But otherwise, the thing to do is to use it right away, get it cooked up, put it in your vacuum packers, and put it in the freezer. That's the way to go for me.